What is going on? Welcome back to Fanatic Journey. So today I'm going to talk to you about NIO. I did a pre-market video, went through some of the data points, what was really influencing it at the time. Market's now closed. I want to give you a quick summary of what really moved it, what shorts did, and everything else that you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So NIO did go down 4.05%. After hours is going up slightly, but very little volume after hours to kind of take note of. $4.96 the low, $5.16 the high. So that 200-day moving average, that was somewhat the saving grace for NIO that regrettably did break. But 48.09 million shares being traded, 81.19 is the average. So you have a lot of algorithmic trading making up for the majority of the volume. Today, only 2 transactions did occur on the secondary market above $100,000. Both, interestingly enough, were sells. One for $256,000, the other one for $151,000. So big money seems to be, once again, taking a step back from NIO. And it really sucks. So I think NIO has just been suffering for the greater part of like 3 years due to geopolitical issues, just big money not really paying attention to it. So it seems to be coming back once again, despite the pretty good operational updates. But the only thing that really came out was this in regards to, I guess, China. So the IMF is warning that China's future growth may be below 4%. So not the best chain. And I think that's kind of reading between the lines that there needs to be something in regards to stimulus. And that's one thing that I've brought up in the past that NIO does need is that next big catalyst, and stimulus or something related to that would be it. Or aside from that, just, I guess, their October numbers, which will be announced fairly soon. But interesting point, the first comment to this, though, is in regards to NIO. So kind of interesting for that. But aside from that, no official news for NIO today, no SEC filings, nothing like that. Good data coming from the States. So this is where you had everything really running up, even the whole EV sector. Tesla did close up roughly 21.9 something percent. So amazing stuff. And it's kind of interesting. So I did my pre-market video, talked on some of the, I guess, reasons why Tesla was going up. And a lot of people are kind of just saying like, well, the energy storage system that Tesla has, like NIO has the same thing. So it's really comical how the market is interpreting what is good, what's bad. So it's just another unfortunate circumstance that NIO is, I guess, a Chinese vehicle or based in China and stuff like that. But shorts at the time of me doing my pre-market were increasing roughly around 400, or I think it was 500,000 pre-market. They ultimately did increase a shit ton, pardon my French, but 17.19 million shares were increased today. So shorts really just said, F you, we're taking you down. So yeah, it's very, very interesting. So I think you do see this happen quite a lot with a lot of different stocks that are kind of sitting on a very strong support point. And they do this kind of just doubling down just to pretty much destroy it, if that makes sense. So 14.36% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 191.79 million shares overall. That works out to be $906.19 million. Utilization 96.7. Short score, so the higher the number, the higher the likelihood of a squeeze happening, is sitting at 74.9, and then cost to borrow average is 2.9. So very interesting chain of events that did happen. And just to give you a quick overview, this is obviously IBKR, so you can kind of see everything. So yeah, today it kind of broke everything. So the next big thing to really watch for is that 100-day moving average, and that is at $4.84. So right now it might just be trading between that 100 and also 200-day moving average. So we'll just have to wait and see, but shorts could very much double down once again at this very last line of support, and then it could be in a little bit more free fall. So it's a bad chain of events, like I've stated. Hopefully with them coming out with their numbers in like a week, that could be that point that really causes some buying or prompts some buying, because RSI is very oversold. So you could get some value investors getting in, but as of late, no new analyst ratings, nothing along those lines, as you can see right here. So last ratings did come out roughly 6 days ago. I've already talked on all this, so nothing really new as far as that. But aside from that, quickly going back over here, looking at options, 3.03 million in calls, 2.76 million in puts, kind of low volume, but 34% of all the options being done today were somewhat neutral in nature. And that's just because NIO was roughly around that $5 range. So a lot of people are just trying to collect some premiums and stuff. But of the call options that are being purchased, you see a consensus for it to be above $6 for next week. So once again, more of a optimistic recovery. And then looking at puts, you see a consensus for it to be, looks like sub $5 / roughly around $4. And all those are more oriented around the Q1 for the most part, 2025, or I guess Q2 as well. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on NIO. With it right now at $4.98, it is trading between this S2 and this S1. So 505 is going to be a strong resistance level over and above a lot of those moving averages that I did talk on. And then $4.79 is going to be that next strong kind of support. So yeah, it's a very interesting stock, and it's kind of weird how everything is playing out, especially right now with the fear and greed index under the greed category. People's appetite for risk is on the table. So you would assume that NIO would be moving up higher because of this. At the same time, behind the scenes, you also have the political or I guess presidential elections coming up. And I think in general, if Trump does win, that is going to be very bad for, I think, just EVs in general, and definitely Chinese EVs. So I think that's kind of compounding as well behind the scenes. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on NIO. Did you buy? Did you sell? And I got some comments in my pre-market. Don't get me wrong, it's good to see some buying power and stuff like that, but I am not here to influence you guys whatsoever. I could care less if you guys are buying or selling or doing anything. That's on you. All I'm doing is interpreting the data, what is coming, and everything else. So yeah, don't get me wrong. It's good to see some buying, but I'm not here to sway you. So for instance, if the technicals are pointing to lower lows, that's what I'm going to say. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. 2 things I want to share with you. Even though NIO is doing its thing, take advantage of this promo. It does give you 8 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. So that is a kick-ass deal. And then aside from that, I did launch memberships, various different tiers. So if you like the NIO content, want to support, you can definitely do so. Or if you want buy signals on stocks and options, there's also a opportunity for that as well. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.